All right, ladies and gents, we're back. We're going to do a very short practice with naming parts of circles, reviewing things about arcs and whatnot. But before we hop into it, I just want to remind you, Google Classroom is your friend. It has everything. Um, every day, you should be getting a mini lesson. You should be getting a practice video like this. Some will be longer than others, depending on what you're learning for that day. Like for example, today will be very short because this is kind of an introductory to circles. And you always should be getting an exit slip too. So make sure you're uploading everything that needs to upload, notes, exit slip, um, yada, yada, yada. As we've mentioned, when you write up your notes, the thing that you're supposed to submit, you should also be writing up these practice problems. This is not homework. Writing your notes and those practice problems, that's part of your classwork. You will be getting homework that will be submitted by the end of the week. Anywho, let's just jump into it. It's not that long. So use the following diagram to answer the following questions below. I'm going to move myself over here, just make it a little bit easier for us. All right. What's the name of the circle? So actually, before I even answer these questions, you should be pausing the video and trying them on your own. Okay. If you try them on your own, I'm actually going to put myself over here. If you try them on your own first, this is a way that you can check your work. So like Dora the Explorer, I'm going to give you some time. All right, so let's get through this. So we're going to use this picture to answer the questions. So what's the name of this circle? To name a circle, you always use the center. Usually, they use the letters C or O. This time I used C for center. So the name of the circle is C. All right, two examples of a radius. Now, a radius is a line segment that starts from the center of the circle and extends to the outside of the circle. So one example is C. Oh, that's so funny. I made a mistake. It should be A, B, C, D. We're going to make this E. Lol. Actually, on that note, if you catch any mistakes that I make in a video, like a mathematical mistake, like spelling mistake, I'm going to make all the time. But a mathematical mistake, you let me know and I'll give you a little bit of extra credit. Anyways, so name two examples of a radius. So we got AC. So I'm going to write AC. Don't forget to put your notation. Remember, also AC is the same thing as saying CA. It's the same thing. So a little quick review. And then similarly, we also have C to E. So we have C to E. Don't forget your notation. That's super important. And remember, the CE is also the same thing as EC. So either of those are correct. Perfect. Next, this is name the diameter of the circle. Now, the diameter is a chord, but it's a special chord. It's a chord that goes through the center of the circle. There's no trick to this. There's literally only one line segment that goes through the center of the circle, and it's AE. So boom, AE. Okay. And last but not least, name one chord that is not a diameter of the circle. So process of elimination, there's only one more line segment that we haven't talked about. Actually not true. Technically, if I really wanted to, I could put a point here, call it F, and then there's a lot of other stuff we could talk about, but we're not going to do that. So Command Z. So a chord is a line segment where the endpoints are on the circumference of the circle. And the only one that we can talk about that's not the diameter is BD. Boom. All right, moving on. All right. So in the diagram, or rather in the above diagram, it's the same diagram, Miss James and Mr. D'Souza were arguing about arc AD. Miss James believes that the arc AD is a minor arc because that is what we always assume when we're given an arc with two letters. However, Mr. D'Souza that's me, believes that it is a major arc because we always read arcs clockwise. So who's correct? So respond with at least 2 sentences giving feedback to the person who was incorrect. So again, take some time, do it on your own. I will wait. All right, so we're back. So a couple of things. I'm not always right, okay? Ms. James happens to be correct, but let's actually look at what I said first. Actually, I lied. Let's start with Ms. James. James says that she believes that arc AD, so arc AD, remember we use a little arc to notate that, as a minor arc because we always assume when we're given 2 letters that we are referring to a minor arc. So this arc, A to D, could be looked at, let me outline this for you. You can see A to D from here, so A to D, or you can see A all the way around to here, okay? This yellow one that I just drew is a major arc. Major arcs are arcs where the angle measure is greater than 180 degrees. So remember, a full circle is 360 degrees. If you know A to C, or remember this is supposed to be E. Let me change that. This is supposed to be E. So I goofed. A to E is half of a circle. So that's already 180 degrees. But if you keep going, that's going to be more than 180, right? So A to D, that would be the major arc. However, however, when we are looking at an arc and we're only given 2 letters, you always assume we're talking about a minor arc. We're really going to be talking about minor arcs mostly in this unit. So A to D must be that way. Okay. So a couple of things. Number 1, when given 2 letters to denote an arc. Yes, I'm writing this out. You should be writing with me. When given 2 letters to denote an arc, we always assume it's referring to a minor arc. What's the unit that talks about clockwise and counterclockwise? What do you think, Mr. D'Souza? That's secretly me. What do you think I was referring to? If you said transformations, you're right. So again, we're trying to give feedback to Mr. D'Souza because sometimes he makes mistakes. So the second thing you can say is you can say Mr. D, doesn't really matter. Mr. D might be thinking about, check this out, I'm gonna do some magic. Goodbye, question. All right, I need more space. Mr. D might be thinking about rotations from, why did I spell from that way? It's late. Rotations from the transformations unit. Okay, so super important. When given 2 letters to denote an arc, we always assume that we're referring to the minor arc. Second thing is, we always want to figure out why we said the wrong things. Mr. D probably said the wrong thing because he was probably thinking of like, something to do with rotations and clockwise, whatever. We all make mistakes, and usually we connect them to things that are similar. So last thing I just want to say, because I know this is the first lesson, this was supposed to be kind of light work, nothing too crazy yet. All your notes should be typed up, or I'm sorry, not typed up. Well, you could type it up, but don't. Write it up plus the practice problems should all be written together like you would in class, and that's going to be submitted on Google Classroom. Then there should be an exit slip that you should see on Google Classroom. It's literally 2 questions, 1 true and false and 1 multiple choice, and you submit that. Most likely, we're going to be counting that as just a classwork grade, remember, which is 35% of your grade. And then you'll also get some kind of homework assignment that will be due at the end of the week. All right, so this is our first lesson. We have a lot more to do. Hopefully we get back into school April 20th. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.